What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. I hope everybody had a great week. I definitely had a great week, and now we are here, safe and sound, and in one piece, and so that is a blessing. Thank you. Tonight, just like every time we're on here, we have an amazing guest. Tonight we have Miss Brandy J. She's a radio personality. She's an entrepreneur. She's a content creator. She's a motivator. She's a you name it. She does it. You know, she's a boss in her own right. But I will not steal her thunder. For those of you who may not be familiar with her and her movement, I'll give her a moment to kind of reintroduce herself and just give a little background of who she is and some of the things that she has going on. So at this point, you have the floor, Miss Brandy.
Okay, I was looking for her to come in. All that stuff you said. I'll introduce myself. No, my name is Brandy J, which stands for Brandy Johnson. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, but I now reside in Nashville, Tennessee. I am the mother of two adults, not children, two adults, 26 and 22 years old. I am a radio personality on 790 AM, 104.9 FM, the gospel right here in Nashville, Tennessee. I also have my own small chicken salad business called Brandy's, which is my name, Brandy, and my grandmother, Annie Williams' name put together. I do that. I also host and MC events. So if you ever need me, you can look me up. And I love the Lord. So that's about it. Anything else you have to ask me, and I'll tell you.
Awesome. First off, I want to thank you for coming on the platform. I know that you are super duper busy and you could be doing a zillion other things, but you saw fit to come on this podcast tonight. So I definitely appreciate you for that.
I am honored. I always tell people whenever I have the opportunity, I try my best to always say yes because I understand how it is reaching out to people, asking them to come on your platform. And the Bible says, "Fret not the small beginnings." So you know what? I try to do my best to support people because I want people to support me.
Facts.
So thank you. You're awesome. Thank you. You're dope yourself. Thank you.
No problem at all. Let's start from the beginning. You said Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
How does somebody from Cincinnati, Ohio end up in Nashville?
Nashville. My dad was a pastor for 40 years. And now my brother, Pastor Greg Johnson, Pastor G, is the pastor. But they moved us here originally from Cincinnati to Columbia, Tennessee. And he took over a small church. And then they moved us up here to Nashville. And he took over a bigger congregation. And I've been in Nashville ever since.
Wow. So
yeah.
How do we go from that to being a radio personality?
Oh, my God. I remember old people saying, it is the Lord's doing. And it has been the Lord's doing. And it is marvelous. But no, really, it all started at Mount Zion. Give a shout out to my pastor D, Bishop Walker, in Mount Zion. It was kind of two things that was happening. It was singles night. It was a singles event, and we had booked Lady Shantae, who I'm on the radio with now, and we had booked her to MC it. Well, by the time I did the giveaways and John Gray was there that night, and I was doing different things, they was like, Brandy, you had us book a personality and you basically did the event yourself. You could have did that. I was like, no, I wasn't ready to do that. Right. Afterwards, lady was like, you were simply amazing. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. So we stayed in contact with each other. And then I think it was 2012 or 13, I started volunteering at 760, which was originally 790, for Lady Shantae. It was a mighty good day with Lady Shantae with the Nashville Buzz. And she gave me my door an opportunity to be on the radio. I just had a 10-minute segment. And that's how I originally got into radio.
10 minutes? Really?
10 minutes. It was Nashville Buzz. I just told the people what was going on in Nashville every Friday for 10 minutes. And I did it for about 3 years. And that's what got me in the door.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing. So with technology and everything that has transpired over the years, we used to have tapes and then we went to CDs and now we're talking about streaming and then internet radio has popped up everywhere and people are doing playlists now. How different is it, or should I say, what's the biggest difference that you found from the time you started to where you are now in this industry with all the technologies that have come about? Has it made your job harder or easier?
Well, actually, it was easy hard because when I first started, Lady was doing all the engineering for my segment. My sister said, "Tell the truth. I'm a very transparent person. I don't have a degree in communications. This is all God's doing. This is just my personality." And so 790 took a chance on me and they said, "Brandy, we're going to teach you all the equipment. We're going to teach you how to engineer for your show and the other shows on Saturdays." So for me, when I first was doing it, I was just finding the information and sharing it. So I wasn't doing it. Then once they had me, the guy Q, it was Saturday was his show. He was about tired of Saturday. So they wanted to find somebody to take his spot. So he took me in and he trained me how to use the systems. And so to me, at first it was foreign. I was like so intimidated by all the buttons. Then I learned you only use about 5 of those buttons every day. I was like, what the mess? So so for me, that's my journey with it. So I didn't have a big transition. I started this in 2022 and here I am now. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
Okay, okay.
For somebody with your background, like you said, you didn't have a degree in communications and you didn't have the usual credentials that the average, the typical, radio personality has. I mean, you kind of alluded to it a second ago, but like, were you, when you look back on it, were you prepared? Like, I'm saying, like, personality wise, and you know what I'm saying, just
Oh,
generally, were you ready? Were you
oh,
ready?
yeah. Now, personality wise, yeah, I was ready all day when I woke in, when I'm asleep. Because I in 2009 I started a nonprofit called GOYB, which is Give on Your Birthday.
Mhm.
So every year on my birthday, even now, I find a way to bless someone in the community to give on my birthday. So it's actually GOYB 76 because I said that's the year God started the work in me, the year I was born. So I was hosting then. And even before I started on the radio, I was getting booked to host plays and doing different things just from people seeing me do that, or just me just being outside. And
Mhm.
so, and just being around the church, and I hosted at clubs before. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just yeah, I just always had a big personality. Even when I used to be, people would be surprised. I used to be 300 pounds. I was 300
Really,
pounds.
really.
Yes. So, and it'll be 20 years this year. In 2004, September 9th, on my mom's birthday, I had weight loss surgery.
Okay.
And I've got pictures of me even when I was fat with a microphone in my hand. So I have just always, I love people. I genuinely have a love for people. And I've just kind of always been a big personality. In high school, yeah, just always been a personality. So I can understand why God opened up this door. I don't
Got
think I deserve it all the time, but I understand.
right. So even though you had the personality, and even though you feel like you were kind of like made for this, um, were there any surprises? Like, I know, like, or better yet, scratch that. What do you feel now that you have the experience and everything? The state of radio right now. Like, do you feel there's some people that say that radio is dead? Some people say
Mhm.
that there is no need for radio now. Um,
Mhm.
or the need for it is dwindling. What would you say to that?
I just feel like what God has for you is for you. And so it's a lot of people that still like radio. It's, so I can't say, some things are just going to always be here. It might change, it might not be the same, but some
Right.
things will always be here. And I think radio is here to stay. Me personally, I don't think it's going to just go away and like dinosaurs. We just no, I don't think that. But I just feel like what God has for you, it is for you. So if it's not on radio, it'll be some type of platform. People got to hear us. How about
Right.
that?
Right.
So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. Who is the first well-known person that you had the opportunity to meet and maybe interview or have on your show or whatever? Who was the first person?
The first person that I've had on my show, now the first person I interviewed a while back was my cousin Carl Lee's in Ohio. He's on the radio also. Do not ask me his radio show. But we did Thai tribute.
Okay.
So I actually did the radio. It was at the Pentecostal Apostolic Faith Conventions in Ohio. And back then, like he would take me to the Stellar Awards and all that type of stuff. So I kind of got to meet people, take pictures and all that type of stuff. So Thai Tribute was actually the first person I recall really meeting that was on that platform.
Awesome.
Now tomorrow,
okay.
I actually have Bishop Greg Davis.
Okay.
Who's going to be on my show in the morning. We're actually going to go live on IG and we'll be on the air so they can stream on the Gospel Nashville also. So yeah, that's what I got going on tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited about that.
Okay. So you've been able to meet some of your musical heroes in this whole thing. So that has to be amazing. If you can name one thing that you learned about yourself during this whole process that you may not have known prior to, what would that be?
I have more courage than I thought. Because like I said, it takes courage to sit down, type these letters, ask people to be on your show. All they can say is yes or no.
Right.
And so, like, I'm going for the big ones. I'm like, Yana, I'm reaching anybody. All they say is yes or no. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? You have more courage than you think. Because I haven't always been, like I said, when you go through a change of like losing weight and things like that, I haven't always had the confidence as people thought. I haven't always been so assured of myself. People would think like, oh, Brandy, you can get dates all the time, this and that. And I'm like, honey, sometimes the quality of the date is no. So I haven't always been as secure in myself that I am now. So I would most definitely say that that'd be the word I would have to use.
This is a question that I usually reserve for artists. But I'm going to ask you, especially since, your whole process, like you said, having surgery and all that. Is imaging important and presentation? How is it important when it comes to being a personality as much as it is being an artist? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you find that that imaging and the whole presentation is important for you as well?
Oh yeah, people treat everybody different. I've lived both sides. So I understand how it is for men to open the gas at the gas station, open the door for you, and some to let it close in your face. Like you didn't see all this walking in.
Right.
So people will treat you different. Do I think it's cool? No, I do not, because I've always had the same heart and the same personality. But people do look. You would think I'm crazy. I went and now we on the phone, but honey, I made sure I took a shower with them. I had them.
Right. I did too.
because your first impression is very important. So I don't care if you are 190 pounds, if you're 400 pounds, your presentation is very important. So I do think that plays a big role with people,
right,
and how they accept you and receive you.
I posted something the other day. I asked a question. I said, "Is there such thing as a pretty privilege?"
Mm-hmm. It
So
is.
you would say that there is such thing as a pretty privilege, like
For sure. When I was all overweight, they didn't give me free French fries and stuff. Matter of fact, they probably kept some of them from me.
right,
Now
right,
I go, they be like, I put some fries in there. And I be looking like, I'm not trying to eat the fries now. I ain't trying to get back big. Now you
right.
want to give me something free. One of my girlfriends and I, we might go to, it's a restaurant called J. Alexander's that we love. And we'll sit at the bar because we just going out to have a good time. And honey, sometimes even Caucasian men, they will pay for your meal. They will ask you, are you drinking a cocktail? Or, just people treat you different. And I'm like, you know what? I talk to my mom sometimes. I'm like, you know what? It is a hot mess. How when I was overweight, people did not treat me like this. But one thing, I never changed on how I treated people.
Right.
Because I was just always me. I was always nice to people. I was always trying to help people and all that type of stuff. But yeah, people are trip. So now, what's the song? Mike Jones. Back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot.
Right, right, right,
I have classmates that be like, man, I always had a crush on you. I be like, now stop that. No, you did not. No, you
right,
did. No, you
right,
did. No,
right,
you didn't. No, you did. So yeah, people treat you totally different. They can.
right. I think, but you know what? I think that that's kind of true. I think somebody probably did have a crush on you, but
Mhm.
nobody wants to be the one seen
with
with,
with the
with
heavier one.
right,
Back then, now,
right,
baby, if I had that weight on now, I'll be all that in a bag of chips.
right,
Sometimes now the big girls, I be looking like, okay, honey, she fit it,
right,
So I'll be
right,
like, okay, I see you, honey, she's beautiful. But I
right,
always make sure I look at people who are like, I always look at them in their face. I always speak to them because I remember how people used to be with me and feeling invisible. But it's not like that anymore. Kind of everybody loves everybody now. Matter of fact, some of the men, they want the bigger, the better.
right,
So so it's not that same. But 20 years ago, it wasn't like that.
right. Understood.
Yeah.
So tell me if you could describe the Nashville, Tennessee gospel music scene / radio scene. How would you describe it?
I think it's like today we had Lady Shantae had CC Winans on her show today. Nashville Gospel, it's really Bobby Jones has an event coming up. Like it's a lot of things. They're trying to get the people to come back out and enjoy the gospel scene. So I think after COVID, people kind of veered out. People veered out from church. So many people stream on church now. They don't even go in the sanctuary
Right,
because they have that option. But now that people are putting programs on and bringing things back, I think it'll get back popping like it was because they had the Stellar Awards here a couple of times, and
yeah,
we have the Dove Awards here. So it's here. It's just now getting the people to start coming back out, and I say they need to stop streaming some stuff because when they have that option, people don't always want to come and be a
right,
part. But it's nothing like being in the presence of the
right,
people and energy, and you just never know how your presence could help somebody else.
right. Nashville being like the gospel music Hollywood. It's like
Yes, it is.
Mecca,
Hmm.
Mecca. So
They
like,
they say
that's
Nashville about to be the next Atlanta.
right, right.
Hmm.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Now, where
Who,
you
who
located?
I'm in Virginia. I'm from New York, but I live in Virginia.
Okay, I just heard it when you said I'm from New York. I just heard it then. Okay. Okay, I heard that little slang. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, come on, slang. Yeah, I heard it. Okay, you're in Virginia. Okay, I've been telling
Yeah.
people you're in Memphis. I lied, y'all. He's in Virginia.
So, I've shout out to the Beard Sisters. I interviewed. I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they're from that Nashville area. They're
Okay.
amazing. They're an amazing trio, girls of women, not girls, women
Mm-hmm.
that sing gospel. They're amazing. Shout out
Okay.
to them. Um, who would you say is someone like the popping artist right now in Nashville right now? Gospel artists.
Michelle Prather is one.
Yeah.
Of course, being, oh my God, that's a hot mess.
Michelle, shout out to Michelle. She's been on here before too.
Okay, yeah. Michelle, Ben, oh my God, I can't think of Ben, and you gotta know who I'm talking about. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. That's terrible. Um, Tennessee, the Vol State Choir, is another one. Oh my God, I think it's Risen, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I hosted for Frank Stevenson's birthday party a few weeks ago, and Leandra Johnson was there. And I think the group is called Risen, if I'm not mistaken. They're from Nashville. Oh my God, the people knew every last one of their songs.
Yeah.
They were absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, they were so dope. I became a fan that night. I was like, oh my God, yeah, they knew they was confident and they worked that room. So yeah, it's so many people. Of course, Bobby Brown. I mean, not Bobby Brown. Bobby Jones is still doing his thing and bringing so many in the Nashville choir. Still bringing music out. So yeah, that's what I would say that's going on in Nashville. It's more, but right now I'm drawing a fog. But yeah,
That is amazing. I just find it amazing how you're able to pivot into so many things. You start out in Cincinnati, end up in Nashville, do just being yourself. You end up in this position, and
yeah,
you are made and you're built for this position. And then you have an awesome story as far as your
journey.
surgeries and everything, and it's
Mhm.
you know it's you seem like you learned a lot. You seem like you're very clear.
Oh,
Um, did it take you a long time to? I know you said you make it your business to treat everybody kind of like the same with the same respect, but how long did it take you for you to like once you began this transformation? Like how long did it take for you to come to yourself, like to be this person? You know what I'm saying? Did you go through a bit of an identity crisis during the time? Was it hard for you to kind of like, okay, this is how I'm gonna go forth. This is how I'm gonna present myself. Like how was it
but
difficult?
yeah, when you go through that process, first of all, they make you see a psychiatrist for that because they let you know it is not an overnight um, process or an overnight fix. So they want to make sure that you're mentally stable for such procedure, and it's life altering. It's life changing for sure. And so I remember when I first had the surgery, when I would go to the stores, I was still going to the big section because that's where I had been at. It was like it wasn't registering to me that, hey, you're no longer in a 22. Now you're in a 10, and then you go to an 8. So when you first have it, I lost so much weight to where I was insecure overweight. Then I got insecure underweight because the doctors was like, oh, you need to, with your heighting, all this stuff, you need to be 140 pounds. Sisters, we don't need to be no 140 pounds. We need a little meat on that. And
Right.
so then I got like extremely small. My head looked big. And so then I went through that process. It was on the pictures, my head looked big. My body was so little. And I was like, I want to gain weight back. So yeah, so it was changing. Like I said, that was 20 years ago now. I haven't forgot it for sure. I haven't forgot it, but also I'm not that person then that I am now. So, but I would never forget, the transformation, and you have to buy clothes and you go up and you go down and you get sick. And so, but what's it say? All things work together for the
Right.
good. So it still pushed me to the person that I am today and where I'm at today.
Okay. Let's talk about let's talk about the business of gospel music. I mean, I know that you're not an artist, but I know that you're kind of in a lot of rooms and you hear a lot of conversations and you are privy to a lot of things that us on the outside, don't get to see or hear or experience. What is your impression of the gospel music business? Has it changed since you started? Changed for the better? Or has it gotten bad? Has it stayed the same? What is your impression of the business,
Well,
especially when you're trying to get people to come on your show? I'm sure you're dealing with managers and booking agents and different ones like that. So, what is your
no, when I email the email and that's it. So I have not had to deal. Now they do have people that contact me back and
yeah
it's not them and they're just more so like, hey, what day, and stuff like that. Only thing I really know that I've heard about the business side as far as the finances go is because people aren't buying CDs and they aren't buying tapes and they got to stream, but then you almost don't have to do it because if you go to YouTube, you can hear it for free of charge, unless you're paying them and stuff like that. So I do see a lot of the artists, even relatives that I have that's in the industry that, like, hey, go to this stream and purchase this and, things like that because they aren't selling. You go to a show and somebody got some CDs afterwards. A lot of people in cars don't even come with CD players anymore. My truck don't have a CD player in there.
right, right.
So I'm pretty sure financially that has changed for a lot of people. But yeah, that's not a part that I'm, really into in that area. So I'm not gonna speak on something that I don't know, but I will just hear what, I do know about people that I am related to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's pivot a little bit. Let's talk
Okay.
about Single Again Chronicles. What's
Why
what's
I knew you was gonna say that. Come on, one accord. Come on, Aretha. Come on, discernment. Single Again Chronicles, that is my baby
Mhm.
because I am single again. And so in 22, I went through I don't call it divorce anymore. I called it a failed relationship or a
Okay.
failed marriage, a relationship that didn't work.
Mhm.
And so God is so awesome. It was so crazy. Lady called me. I think it was August.
Mhm.
She called me and she was like, Brandy, how about you coming on the show and we train you and all this type of stuff. And so I talked to my husband then. I was like, what do you think? And it's going to be every Saturday. And we went over what time. And,
Mhm.
he was like, well, some of you always wanted to do. So, you're just going to be doing it. So we looked at the pros and the cons of it. And I'm so glad that I said yes. Because
Mhm.
that was August. And in September, that I don't want to say the N word, but I want to say the N word.
Right, 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 right. I understand. I understand.
Everything just, I felt like my world was turning upside down, but it actually turned for the better.
Right.
So it was like August, she did that. I started training. September, everything in my life just changed. By November, I moved out from the home we had together. We put it on the market. I moved out from the home we had together. I moved in with my parents. And I had a time where I was just able to be poured into and loved on and just I needed that. I needed that time. And so while I was doing that, while was selling one home, I was building my next home. So
Mhm.
I built me a townhome and that's what brought Single Again. Well, for a whole year I was just doing music and engineering for all the other shows. And then Lady Shantae then was like, what is something that you're really passionate about? And I was like, you know, y'all got relationship shows, this and that. And that. I was like, but just being single again. And she just asked me, what does that look like? and I was telling her the vision that I had for the show and everything. And it's a different conversation. It's a different room, because when you go from having somebody that you check on every day, or somebody checking on you every day, or you get off of work and you're cooking, or you got a plus one and that's going to be your plus one,
Right.
to all of that just ceased. And it's just you again. People need to talk about that, because some days I wasn't doing good, but because I was home with my parents, I was able to get through that rough season with my parents, and my siblings are amazing and dear friends. So that is how Single Again was birthed.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I mean, what's the premise behind it? Like, what's the goal for it? Like, what are you trying to convey to the people? Who does it cater to? Like, is it for me? Is it for women? Is it for young women, older women? Like,
It's
who?
for anybody. The first month, I had widowers and widowers on my show who were forced into singleness again.
Right,
You
right.
lose a spouse, you wasn't expecting that. So I had men and women to come and share their journey on what does single again look like for you in this season. This month, I have different people from different walks of life sharing how do we give God the glory in this season of our life of being single again. Next month we're dealing with weight, and how do we glorify God with what we eat and what we do.
Mhm.
So it's for anybody that finds themselves all his I had a pastor on last week, Pastor James McCarroll. He said, quit saying single, call it all his again. I said, now come on, we are all his again. We are the Lord's all his again. Give me a table for 100 because we all his again. So so I'm like, so it is to just inspire, to let you know that if you do find yourself in that, you still have purpose.
Right,
God still loves you. He can still use you. He can use you to tell people what to do and what not to do,
right.
in that. So sometimes you can reach people differently because they know that, hey, you know what? You experienced what I have experienced. So it's just to bring people together and just bring them awareness to know, that life is not over. Life is still worth living. Some people really want to give up on life when, certain circumstances happen, because I think I've never had to experience losing a spouse by death, but I think it's worse when you can see them around going on with their life, to
Right,
me,
right.
like we was doing this, and you out here doing this, and this, or they was like, okay, you weren't shining like that because you weren't my life, that I was supposed to be connected to you, honey. The source wasn't right, uncle. So,
Okay.
so
So like,
come out.
did you feel like you ever like did you feel like you had to forgive yourself, for the relationship at any point?
Oh yeah, cause you get red, blue, purple, orange, yellow flags. we get, but we think we God. God said with His loving kindness He would draw us,
Right.
and we think I thought, oh, with my loving kindness, I'm gonna teach him how to love, and I'm gonna love him like he's never been loved before.
Mhm.
And even when God was telling me, like, no, that ain't it. And he
Right.
would keep letting certain things happen. And I'd be like, God, but I love him and you love him too, Jesus. And you love us. We're going to be okay. Because everything on paper added up. We got the cars we wanted. We got the house we wanted. We got the marriage we wanted. But we did not have the foundation, in which is Jesus. And that's why it was on sinking sand. It was just a matter of time. So, yeah,
Mhm.
you have to most definitely forgive yourself for not listening to that voice, which is the voice of the Lord. When the Lord is telling you, like, I got good plans for you, plans for you to prosper. You know what I'm saying? But you thinking, we can do this, and he's like, you can do all of that. I promise you, you can do all of that. And you can do all that and more if you follow
Right.
me, So even in that, he factored all of that in, and he still uses little old me who didn't obey, who didn't
Right.
listen. I'm like, God, you still use me. I say, man, you so cool. He's so cool. He's so cool. He is.
Okay, so you were talking about, your weight loss journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're at this place where, like you said, the attention is that you're getting is different.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as discernment is concerned, like, did you really have to like make it? Did your discernment go up a couple of notches? Because I think that what happens sometimes is that when in positions like that, we are kind of like, what's the word? We're kind of jaded. So when we get in a position, whether it be losing weight or making more money on the job or whatever, when you have a come up of any kind, you feel like you want to shine on the people that wouldn't give you the time of day at certain points, or treated you a certain way at certain points because of the position that you're in. Um, what was the biggest thing that you personally emotionally had to change? Did your discernment have to change? Did the way you just went about life change? The way you talk to people, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you deal with the opposite sex in dating, how, what was that like? Was there a change? Like, did you have to change? Was there a discernment? Was there ever a feeling of offense when you feel like you had to get back all those guys that may not have given you the time of day? Like, is that something that you had to deal with?
See, I've been like this for 20 years now. So back then, I
Mhm.
probably did.
Yeah,
Back then, when I was out kicking and doing what I wanted to do,
yeah,
I'd be like, boy, bye. Now, you did not like me in no school, or you was
right,
not paying me no attention. Now, cut it out. Let's keep it real.
right,
And I was able to say, no, thank you, but no, thank you. So back then, probably then I did, I most definitely was like, honey, please, with the people that knew me. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Now, as you mature and as you change, your surroundings change. So a lot of people, if they hadn't really been following me, they don't know if I don't tell them because I
right,
don't look like it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
So, but it is something that I do like to. I always share because you do when you have it back then. Like I have a scar, so it's something I don't want, to scare somebody. So I'm like, you know what? Hey, I had weight loss surgery, this and that. So I do, try to share. I will share that type of information.
mhm,
So now it's different. So I don't have to try to shine on anybody. Now I am very nobody can't know anybody come to my house. If you want to go to dinner, if I don't know you from, and not even people from back in the day, because we don't know them now, 20, 30 years later, you don't know those people.
right,
But if it's nobody I feel comfortable with, then no, you can't come to my house and pick me up. I don't need you know where me and my daughter live at.
right,
So we can
right.
go meet and go have dinner, go hang out, or things like that. But no, I don't think I have to. They see me shining. So, and it's really my thing is, I was crazy because I told my doctor I done got up to 181 pounds, and so I'm freaking out. And
Yeah.
so and he's like, "What do you think is causing you to gain weight?" I said, "Peace."
Mm,
I said,
mm,
Man." I said, "The peace and the happiness." Oh my God, I'm gonna send you a picture. In 2022, I had got down to like 100 and maybe 70 pounds.
yeah,
I had like lost all my curves because I was stressed. I was stressed. I was forgetting to eat. I was
right,
literally at work all day long forgetting to eat because I was so my mind was just like, okay, what am I going? Am I gonna go through a divorce? Is just built this house and it ain't last 2 years.
right,
I'm like,
right,
we just built this house from the ground. If my mind was just, what is he doing? It was just, I was not myself, and I lost so much weight. And so when I went to the doctor, and he was like, "What?" I said, "I'm at peace." For a while, I'm very transparent. I tell people like I was taking like Tylenol PM. I was taking like pain pills just to try to sleep, just to sleep,
right,
because
right.
I just couldn't. My mind would not stop. It would not rest. And now I don't hear my daughter come in and out. And it's just the peace of God. It is. And I'm like, oh my God, peace is priceless. And I will never lose it again in anything. Friendships, relationships, a job. I'm never going to let the space that I'm in now, nothing is worth my peace. Nothing is worth my joy and happiness. Like they say, happiness is things that's happening. I got things, good things that are happening, and nothing is worth my happiness. So yeah, I would say most definitely the peace, man. The peace.
So being in the industry now, like, what's that like when it comes to dating? Do you find yourself being approached by artists, or you know what I'm saying? Like, is there, you know what I
I
mean? Is there a difference, or
Now I tell you, I keep it real.
yeah, yeah.
I think it is a hot mess, but I think more married men
Uh-huh.
will say something to me than somebody that's single and available.
Why you think that is?
Because they trifling. No, I don't. I don't want to say because they are man. Um, I think it's two. I think it could be two things. It could be they really could not be happy in their situation, which has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Or it could be a test to see, am I gonna go? Because
Right.
you're not 9 times out of 10, you're not leaving your wife.
Right.
So you just looking for a moment of pleasure, you know?
Right. Right.
So like they say, it's more married people in the dating pool now than it is single people. So I think that yeah, I would say more who are more open to be like, oh, you're beautiful, or but like when they inbox me that foolishness, honey, you could have put that on my page. You didn't have to inbox me that. Like I'm not gonna play with you like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you married? Are you single? I ain't asked you that.
Oh yeah, I'm married.
Okay, cool. How
You
long you
know,
been married?
since '06.
Okay, cool. Well, then that's great.
Yeah, I'm married. I have 3 children. I have two sons and a daughter.
She the baby?
No, she's the middle.
Oh, okay.
So I have a 5-year-old. I have a 27-year-old and I have a 5-year-old.
Oh Lord, a 27-year-old, 5-year-old. My God,
Yeah,
you waited.
in the middle. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, cool. Well, yeah. So yeah, you ain't in that pool, so honey, we ain't worried about you.
Right. Right. Right.
And be like, Mike ain't in that pool, honey. Y'all didn't see
Right.
him in that pool.
I
Honey.
mean, I still find it interesting because I listen to people. I just like doing things like this because you learn so much about people
Mhm.
and how they think and how they live, and it's always interesting to me.
How did
You
you hear about me? I have to ask you that.
huh?
How did you hear about me?
You know what? I just
Social
read.
media.
I just surf. I just
Okay.
surf that, and I look at people's stuff, and I looked at your what you do and everything, your
Okay.
radio personality situation, and
Okay.
just your presentation, and I was like, okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out to her and I'm gonna see, what she talking about.
Sure, I'm gonna say. Sure,
But
I'm gonna say yes.
but yeah, I mean, it's still interesting to me because I like to learn people from all
Walks of life.
directions,
Mm-hmm.
and all walks of life or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the one of the best parts of doing this. It's super cool just to see how a young lady from Tennessee feels versus how a young lady in California feels. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It might be the
Mm-hmm.
same, it might be totally different.
Mm-hmm.
You just never
And our
know.
environment and background,
Yeah, that's
makes it defines all of our view on things. I'm very old school. I'm 47. I'll be 48, but I'm very old school and traditional. But my parents be married 56 years. So in
wow.
2024, I still feel like a woman should fix a man plate and his drink and all that. I think that's the environment that I was raised. And
Yeah,
so
I gotta have you on. I do panels too where we talk about stuff just like this. I would
yeah.
love to have you on. Yeah, I would love to have you on.
I get chewed out all the time, like girl.
Yeah.
But in my marriage, I did that. He was an engineer with the fire department, so he worked 24, home 48. Um, when he got off of work, he cannot. He if he wanted shrimp and grits, if he wanted, I fixed it. I served it. I gave him his plate, his napkin. When he got through, I washed the dishes, and I worked too. My mom was like, "Now, honey, I did that, but I didn't work." You
Yeah.
know. But I'm like that, and my sister then, but my sister been married like 30. She's like, girl, honey, James get his own plate now. But y'all been married 30 something years. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Right.
You coming
Right.
in the door? No, I wash clothes, I folded them. Like I can open it. I did all of that. I made sure all the bills was paid on time. My mom always taught us, all the man's supposed to do is go make the money, and you take care of home and the kids. Well, we didn't have kids, but
Okay.
I helped with the bills too. But she didn't have to do that, but I helped financially also. But I also did I'm OCD, so I keep my home very clean. So I made sure the home was clean all the time. So yeah, I'm very traditional in that way. People look at me, they wouldn't think I am, but anybody, my sister, when I leave here, I'm going to my sister's house. She's having a chicken and waffles party, but when you go, she gonna fix everybody plate. She gonna make sure you got something to eat. She gonna be cleaning while it's going on, and that's just how we are. So I don't
Yeah.
care when people think like, girl, that's crazy. He can get his own plate. He can, but I choose not to have him to do that. I feel like it's a certain reference you're supposed to have for your husband, but it's also a reference your husband's supposed to have for you too.
Right.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
That's a fact. That is a fact. I'm definitely going. I'm definitely going to have you come back. And do
Give
this.
it, give me on there, give me chewed out, give me talked about.
Yeah. Listen,
Well,
because
you
it's
know,
so, nowadays it's so different. Like women have a different, but you'll see. I'm sure that you already know. I'm pretty sure you already have a idea.
oh
Um,
yeah.
going forward, in your career now, um, what's the goal at this point? You know what I'm saying? You're doing what you're doing now, but is there if there was a next level, so to speak, what would the next level be for you?
My dream, I love my show. I would love to go to radio full time for sure. Right now, it's a part-time gig.
Mhm.
Um, but I really want to host an MC event and just
Mhm.
continue to connect with people. And I got a game that I created for Bishop Greg tomorrow that that I'm
Mhm.
going to show. I told him I love this because like we didn't go over any questions. It's just
Right,
off the dome. I like
right,
authentic. Like I don't
right.
want to give people the questions because then you give them time to write these fake
Give
answers.
polish,
And,
yeah, give
yeah, and
polish answers,
like
right,
the Lord told me no, no. So like
right,
even Bishop Greg, we haven't went over anything.
right.
And I just told him, I said, look, I got a game we're gonna play. I know you're gonna be amazing. And he just put laugh out loud. He was like, I'm with you. And so I do come up with different I don't know, I'm a woman of vision.
Mhm.
I really am. I'm a woman of vision. So I can see different things. And the pastor that was on last week, he has a song that I did his promo with. And I went to visit his church and I absolutely love it. And I told him, I was like, man, I seen Jonathan McReynolds, I seen Karen Clark. I'm like, I seen all these people doing this one song in different. And he was like, man, we need to make that happen. I'm like, yeah, we need to make that happen. And so
Mhm.
like I said, I got Bishop Greg a game tomorrow. So I just want to, I know this is something I would do even for free if I
Right.
had to. So it's just something I want to be in the industry and I want to host the Stella Awards and I want to host different things. So I know right now I might have to start off with just being a presenter, but
Mhm.
I want to be a presenter at these things and just, work my way into the field full time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
How about you? What's your goal?
That's a good question. The same thing. I think I'm more of a boots to the ground type of person. So I wouldn't necessarily. I would be open to being a presenter, but I'm more of a red carpet type of person. I
Okay.
would like to be on the red carpet and talk to people.
I want to do
Um,
all that too. I will do all that. I'll go from red carpet to the stage. I'll do it.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I love. I would like to do. Like you said, hosting events. you know what I'm saying, events and just like I said, just constantly anything that allows me to talk to people and learn from them and gain understanding, gain viewpoints like we're doing here.
Do you
Um,
feel like, I'm sorry, do you feel like this is your purpose?
you know what? Yes, partly, yes.
Okay. Hmm.
It's something that I always kind of secretly wanted to do because I'm really into pop culture and I'm really into that type of thing. And I always was curious about how certain things work. So when the
Hmm.
pandemic happens and we were all home or whatever, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it. All I
Okay.
had was a simple ring light and my phone. And I started interviewing my friends, people that I already
Yeah.
knew. And
Okay.
I started just started going from there.
Okay.
Um, and that I really enjoy it. I've met a bunch of, a lot of great people. Some people that you know, some people that you don't know. Like you said,
Okay.
Michelle Prather.
Hmm.
I had Angel Taylor on from Trinity 5-7's been on here.
Okay.
Keandra Lockett has been on here. Lisa
Okay.
McClendon has been on here.
Okay. So you're doing your thing.
Uh, Kevin LeVar.
Okay.
Um, who else can I think of? Antonio Neal. I've had Amethyst Moy Turner, Danita Gibbs,
Okay.
Marjanae Parks. I mean, like it's been a
Just
lot.
just name it. That's cool. That's dope. Yeah,
Yes,
that's what's
I've,
up.
I've had quite a few people on here, but to answer your question, yeah, I think in part,
Purpose.
it is part of my purpose because
Okay.
I realize that I love this, just the
Okay.
conversation and like I said, learning and
Meeting
growing.
people.
Yeah, meeting people, and I love to travel. So I'm praying that this will allow me to get out from my
Yes.
studio and start going to meet
Yes.
people.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
You
Yes.
know,
I want
so
to travel.
so
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of like
End
my
the goal.
short.
Okay.
In short, that's what I would like to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's what's up. That's cool to know. Yeah.
So, so tell me this: what would you say is the most common misconception that people have about you?
Um, that I'm weak.
Wow.
Yeah. I will have to say I I was really a people's pleaser.
Hmm.
Doesn't make me weak. I just want to make people happy, you
Right.
know? And so a lot of people thought they didn't know, okay, when it's enough, you don't know. I can cut you off like I never knew you. I ain't mad at you. I'm not holding no
Yeah.
grudges. If I see
Right.
you broke down on the side of the road, I'm gonna pull over and ask you, are you okay?
Right.
But one of my mother's saying, here and no further. She say, put them in another garden.
Right.
Certain gardens we water. Certain gardens you see over there in Polo Babies, the little flowers is just dying because ain't nobody tending to it.
Right.
I can, and my dad would tell me, I remember when I was going through all this, and he said, "You stronger than you think." And at the moment, I'm thinking like, "Daddy, I am not strong." But yeah, people think that I'm weak. I'm a pushover, and I'm really, and they think I'm stupid because I'm always smiling, and even if you mistreated me, I'm still nice to you. I'm still cordial to you. But I don't have to give you my energy.
Right.
I just know, baby, when I see you, it's gonna be all giggles. And when it's time to go, you're not gonna hear from me. I will leave you I would read your message and not reply. Okay. I ain't got to leave you unread. I can leave your message and
Wow.
not reply to you. And I'm okay. And it was a song, it is well with my soul. I promise you. And I'm not losing no sleep. It is too peaceful in here for that. So I think people think that I'm weak and I'm not. My daddy told me I'm stronger than I think. And
Right.
my dad's amazing.
Right. I heard a rapper say recently. He said givers have to learn how to set boundaries because takers never do.
Oh, and you know what? They will take as long as you allow them to take. And I had to start looking at I had to start looking at friendships. It's like, okay, are we always doing what you want to do? Um, are you ever supporting anything that I got going on? Am I always supporting what you got going on?
Right. Right.
Um, do my feelings really, when you don't hear from me in a week, are you gonna pick up the phone and check on me and say, hey, I hadn't heard from you? Or you waiting until I reach out to you? So
Right.
when you start paying attention to that type of stuff, it teaches you how to move different. I want to see how long you can go without hearing my voice too.
Nah. Okay.
Can you pick up the phone and say hello? Hey, you good? You need anything? And I'm learning that. And I have learned that I already knew my crowd was small, but I'm learning my small crowd is smaller than I knew.
Right.
And it is still well.
I heard that. I heard that.
So it's still well with myself. I promise you. It
That's,
is.
so what would people be surprised to know about you?
I like to turn up now. They would be surprised to know. I think everybody knows, like I go live a lot of times. They know I keep my house clean. They would be surprised to know. Oh, I can really be clingy. Isn't that crazy? I can be
Mm.
clingy. I can be clingy. Most people kind of think like, oh, you too busy and all that type of stuff. But I love hard. And
So you're talking from you're talking like from a dating standpoint, or are you just talking about generally in your friendships and stuff too?
genuine, my hairstylist with my, once we locked in.
Right.
So my hairstylist been doing my hair like 20 years. I don't play about that. I got to say doctor for like
Right.
15 years. When
Right.
I'm in a relationship, I'm very clingy and not clingy, annoying. Because most people think like I don't want to be bothered, but I'm like, no, I'm really a cool woman to be with. Like I'm gonna make sure that you know you are a priority. Then put that way. And not just in dating, in my friendships, in my family, my
Mhm.
coworkers. Certain people know that they are a priority. My kids, they know. Like when they honey, they've been tearing my pockets up this month. They've been tearing me up. My God, both of them at the same time. Like, prepare. But
Right.
they know that they are priorities. So that's one thing that I don't think people they probably see because when you're out and stuff, they think like, oh, everybody makes up, but no, I really make over people probably too much.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we are nearing the end of the interview. I only have one official question left.
Okay, then I'm gonna
Um,
tell how the people how to follow me and all that. So go ahead,
Yeah,
run it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. This is a question that I ask all my guests. I just want you
Mhm.
to take a moment and think about it before I, before you answer.
Okay.
The question is this: what would have to happen in your life if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for you specifically?
That is crazy. I was watching something. Um, I was watching something. You know what? I feel like I'm successful now.
Okay.
I used to think until you arrive to your end goal in mind, then that's you reach success. But no, I'm like, to me, this is success. My parents are still here. My dad will be 85, my mom will be 81. Um, I have lost one sibling in 2020, but my other siblings are still alive. My family, my extended family in Ohio, I'm very close to all of my family. Um, I have amazing coworkers that I'm cool with, but I've had to learn how to be proud of I can almost get emotional. I had to learn how to be proud of myself. You know, sometimes it's so easy to look at other people But I'm doing good. I'm 47. I'm a homeowner. I got an 800 something plus score. I love the Lord. Credit score high. Uh,
Okay.
a little coins in the bank. But no, I love the Lord. I have amazing people, and I'm living my dream right now. The Lord knew my dream was on my vision board. I wanted to be in radio. I said full time, and so I know that He is working that out for me. So
Absolutely.
I have to be faithful. He can't trust me if I can't be faithful over few. If
I
I
heard
can be
that.
faithful over, the little, then how is he going to trust me to move? So I do this like I'm getting paid the big bucks now. I take it wholeheartedly. I work on it. I work throughout the week. And I think about questions, and like I said, I email my guests and all that type of stuff. So I feel like I am successful now,
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
and I got peace.
So, how would somebody get in touch with you if they wanted to book you for an event or just kind of glean some knowledge from you, or maybe something that you said on here inspired them to want to get clarity on some things? How do they get in touch with you?
You can reach me on social media at all outlets at TheRealBrandiJ. That Brandy is with an I. TheRealBrandiJ. My name is Brandy Johnson on Facebook. You'll see my picture. I have a lady who I'm actually going through the journey with who just had weight loss surgery. And so I've been kind of like her mentor on that. So if you're thinking about that, I would love to walk you through that journey if you have talked to God and He has said yes for you to do that. You can also listen to me every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. for Single Again Chronicles with your girl Brandy J. 11 o'clock, 11:15 to 11:30. I have a praise break. I play my tambourine. I take us old school and all of that on 790 a.m. 104.9 FM, The Gospel. You can email me at book Miss Brandy J. That Brandy's with I at gmail.com, and I would be honored to connect with you. I would love to do more podcasts. I can't wait to come back and tell them girls, girl, fix some plates, girl. Um, you ain't too good to fix a plate. But that's how they can connect with me. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on the platform. I definitely had a ball. I feel like we just kind of like scratched the surface, so you definitely have to come back
Let
um,
me know.
and
Yes.
talk more. Um, I wish you much blessings on everything that you have going on.
Thank
Um,
you.
and I thank you for being so transparent about, your whole weight loss journey as well as your journey as a personality and as a business person. I mean, I know I definitely was inspired by it.
And
Um,
single again. I'm single
and
again. Yeah.
single again,
Don't get me. I'm
absolutely. Can't
single.
forget that. Can't forget that.
I'm
I
single
want
again, y'all. I'm
to
outside.
make sure all my single friends see this
Tell me,
see
baby,
this
have good credit.
podcast.
Love the Lord, good credit in that order.
Absolutely. Again, I thank you and I appreciate you because I don't want to take any more of your time. I know
I'm
that
gonna go eat some chicken and waffles.
I know
Thank
that you're
you.
super busy.
Mike, thank you so much. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much. And I promise you, I want to come back because I want to tell these women in 2024. Now the men gotta open them doors in 2024.
Right.
We
I
gotta
can't
fix some
wait.
plates.
Absolutely.
They probably
Absolutely.
gonna enter my box out. Thank you so much, Mike. You're awesome. You're amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again. You have an awesome night and the rest of your weekend, a blessed rest of your weekend.
And y'all tune in the morning to Bishop Greg Davis from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. You on Eastern. I'm on Central Time.
Right.
Yeah. All right, Mike. You
All
have a
right.
great night. Thank
You
you so
too.
much. All
No
right. Bye-bye.
problem.